If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 1, Episode 3, Books from Beyond, stop listening now, major spoilers, here we go. Today is November 14th, 2015. Rest in peace to all those that were killed in Paris. I don't really talk a lot about that stuff, but I think it's very important to come together and unite. So let's have a moment of silence. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're talking about Ash vs. Evil Dead. This is Season 1, Episode 3. I gotta give it a rating of 10 out of 10 stars. It is absolutely perfection. It is absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely one of the best episodes. As of right now, I'm going to go episode number 1, episode number 2, and episode number 3 in that order. And the reason why is because the way that they're presented is perfection cinematically. Okay, so Lucy Lawless's character, Ruby Nobi, she's here now. Okay, she has arrived, and Ruby, from what I can understand, and I don't know yet, because no one really knows the character and what she's going to do, but I think that she is like the female version of Ash, or she is something supernatural. And the reason why I say that is because she has like this, I don't know, she can kind of sense, you know, where the Deadite is at. And she has this tremendous power and strength about her. And this is what I was actually hoping the character would be. I'm glad that it's just not like a, I don't know, usual Hollywood female character that's all girlish and you know, can't take care of herself, can't defend herself, you know, damsel in distress. No, this Ruby character is something else, man, and Lucy Lawless plays it perfectly. She has this knife at the beginning of the episode once she digs up Kelly's father, and once she places the knife on the Deadite's face and, you know, begins to outline his face and cut his face begins to melt, and then after that, you know, we don't really get any more information about that weapon, but she's carrying some very supernatural stuff with her, man. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to work. To fast forward at the end of the episode, the character played by Joe Jones, Amanda Fisher, is locked up inside of Books from Beyond, and Lucy Lawless's character next week will save Amanda from, you know, the fate that she was about to encounter at the end of this episode. So here's what's happening. Ash, Pablo, and Kelly have, how do you want to say it, driven across country or whatever to this bookstore, to this address off of this business card, and that leads them to the address or the building known as Books from Beyond. They're going to go inside, they're going to talk to a familiar face, and try to get the book translated, okay? And I don't want to spoil too much about what happens in there, because if you are a fan of, you know, the Evil Dead franchise, Army of Darkness, you know, you're going to love what's inside here. So what I will say is this. Everything looks authentic. Everything is, it's very Evil Deadish, okay? Whenever the book is opened, familiar things happen to the surrounding area. All right, so Ash goes inside, he talks to this guy, and then after that, we get introduced to, or I guess the first opportunity for Amanda and Ash to interact, okay? Amanda comes inside of the building. First, she doesn't recognize Ash, well, maybe she recognizes him, but doesn't want to blow her cover, and then what ends up happening is that she goes outside, she texts one of her partners, or calls her partner, the partner sends the photo, the sketch from episode number 2, and then after that, Amanda runs back inside, and she tells Ash, you know, freeze, and Pablo and Kelly see Amanda going inside of Books from Beyond, and then after that, they race inside. Pablo hits Amanda over the head, and then Ash takes Amanda and puts the handcuffs on her and has her handcuffed for pretty much all of the entire episode so that they can accomplish this mission. And the mission is to to bring forth a demon in order to gather information on how to stop, you know, this bad stuff that's happening, okay? And it's just a disaster, man. It's so Evil Dead, it's so Ash, it's so Army of Darkness. It's just his character, man. And the guy inside of the store says it. He says this book can be incredibly dangerous if it's you know, if it's how do you want to say it? If someone that is really evil, very evil, holds the book, or if someone that is really stupid, really dumb, holds the book. And we know that Ash, no matter how awesome and how courageous Ash is as a character, he's a great character, but he's a complete idiot. He's a moron. And that's why we like him, man, because he's not your average, superhero character, good guy. He makes a lot of mistakes, man, but he'll continue to try to improve upon that. And that's what he's been trying to do for the last 30 years. 30 years, man. Real quick, let me pause for a second and read this real quick. This is the, how do you want to say it? The description, okay, of Books from Beyond. And I am sorry I didn't read it in the beginning. A mysterious woman finds the destruction at Kelly's parents' farm. That's Lucy Lawless's character, Ruby. Meanwhile, Ash, Pablo, and Kelly continue their quest with the Necronomicon, and Fisher finds herself in another terrifying, inexplicable situation. And that's what we have, all right? So as Ash is inside of Books from Beyond, the guy that runs the store, he begins to kind of show you how to unlock the powers of this book, man. You have to do incantations, you have to do spells, you have to set up a portal to call forth the demons and the spirits and stuff like that. So he sets up a pentagram, hexagram with like a satanic Illuminati occult sort of circle with salt. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that you've seen on all sorts of different movies, man. But especially Ash versus Evil, or not Ash, but Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. And, if you ever watched, what was that one movie? Ouija. There you go. It took me a while to trigger my mind, but yeah, Ouija. Ouija has a lot of the familiar stuff too. All that occult stuff all ties together. Star of David, Star of Daniel, however you want to call it. Hexagram, pentagram, stars, circles. Writing inside of salt. Don't break the barrier. Don't break the circle. Stuff like that. That's what was inside of there. And whenever the guy told Ash, "Don't break the circle," we knew eventually someone was going to break the circle, and I was hoping that it was Ash, and it was Ash at the end, man. And here's what happens. So they call forth this demon. This demon, rises up. It's something that looks like it's off of Guillermo del Toro's work, man, off of Pan Labyrinth. It's that same demon, and I like how they did that. It's a familiar demon that is actually a real demon. It's from textbooks. It's from, Ash versus or not Ash, but I keep saying Ash, but it's from the Evil Dead franchise. It's from, the Occult. It was real, man. And this one, for me, it looked even, better than anything I've ever seen. And that was because they did it with a practicality of a guy inside of a suit. But you didn't know that. I thought it was just CGI. But it was literally a guy that was inside of a suit, man. And now this particular demon was a small demon inside of the book of the Necronomicon. It was actually the smallest demon, I guess you can say. Wasn't too bad. But the guy could disappear. He plays with the weakest person's emotions and stuff like that, and that's what he was doing. He was doing some things inside of Pablo's and Ash's brain. Once he gets a hold of you and gets you inside of his grasp, he'll either bust your blood vessels inside of your brain, or he'll erase some of your memories. It depends on what they were doing inside there. I think they kind of drove that point across whenever he gave the description of the actual entity, and then after that, once the entity started, displaying its powers, I thought they did really, really good job at that. That's what I was kind of guessing what was happening. And if he kept hold of you that long, he could actually drag you down to hell and and kill you, man, if he wanted to. So what ends up happening, man, is that Amanda gets free after she convinces Kelly that she's a good guy. She busts inside of the back room, and then she ends up how do you want to say it? like knocking Ash forward a little bit to where he to where he breaks the circle. And once he breaks the circle of the pentagram, hexagram, whatever you want to call it, that's when all hell breaks loose and they have to fight this thing, man. And then what ends up happening is that you get to see Ash, Pablo, and Kelly. They join together. They join forces. And this is the first time that we can actually see that they work really, really well together as a team, man. One of the funniest things, before I go forward and end this podcast, the funniest things that happen in the episode, Pablo really likes Kelly. Tonight, on episode number 3, Kelly tells Pablo that I like you. I think you're really cool as a brother. So she's put him in the brother zone, and it just kind of broke Pablo's heart, man. He was like, no, that, I'm a bad guy. I can be a bad guy, a bad boy or whatever. she wasn't buying it. I don't know how that's going to play out, but it's going to be very interesting, man, to see if Pablo and Kelly get together at the end of the episode. Because whenever something bad happens, like when Ash was fighting this demon tonight, they run together. Kelly and Pablo, they run together, but Pablo's always looking out for Kelly. He's like, Kelly, come over here. And then they kind of hold each other and they scream at the top of their lungs because they don't know what else to do, man. They're not, fighters. They're not Ash, they're just newbies, I guess you can say, little babies to this, man. All right, so what ends up happening, man, is that Kelly grabs the book as the entity or the demon has Ash and Pablo underneath his spell. He's trying to kill them and erase their memories and trap them and try to bring them down to hell. She runs up, she grabs the book, the Necronomicon, she slaps the demon in the head with the Necronomicon. That takes him out and brings him back into the book and, brings him back into hell. There was some mention of who made the book. I'm not going to spoil that because I think that the way that they displayed it and they showed it with the CGI and the backstory, I thought it was perfect. And if you're a fan of Evil Dead, you already know all this stuff. If you're a fan of Army of Darkness, you know all this. But the way that they're presenting it now is it's introducing those that have joined this Ash versus Evil Dead experience. It gives them an opportunity to learn as much as they can. And this is only in episode 3. We've covered so much information. It's really crazy. But we're almost past like Evil Dead number 2. We're almost past Army of Darkness. The only thing that's left is now to get really deep into this story. And I think that's what's fascinating because episode number 4, it looks like Lucy Lawless's character is going to come in, and then her and Amanda will probably end up teaming up because Lucy Lawless's character will save Amanda after she kills no spoiler, she kills whatever happens. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it looks like the story is moving forward at such a rate that it's perfect storytelling, man. That's what I love about the show. It's a really, really good show, man. At the very, very end, man, Kelly, Pablo, and Ash are sitting in the car, and then Ash, he uses the word we for the first time, and Kelly was like, what are you talking about we? I thought that you like to work alone or whatever. And then he's like, no, I think we're better off as a team and we can stick together. And so now the team is formed. It's Pablo, it's Kelly, it's Ash. They are a team. And it's kind of cool, man, to see them together and I guess knowing that they're going to do some great things in the future, man. That's what was really promising at the end, man. That is it. Once again, man, the episode was called Books from Beyond. There's really nothing more to say about it. I don't want to spoil too much, man. I can go on for probably like an hour talking about this, but I'm not going to. I really, really enjoyed it. You'll be able to see, once again, my reaction to the episode every single week, man. I'm going to try to bring it out for the Deadites. I know as a Deadite fan, I go on YouTube and I watch all the reaction videos, and I just love, seeing all these fans, man, just being able to enjoy this great experience, which is Ash versus Evil Dead, and seeing Ashley, which they used his name tonight too. I don't want to spoil too much about how they did it, but his actual name, Ashley, it gets used tonight. And I thought that was really, really creative how they did that, because I don't think a lot of people know that Ash's name is actually Ashley. He's a guy, but his name is Ashley, man. It's really, really cool. And all you, Evil Dead fans out there, you understand that, know that already. But for the ones that don't, man, I'm pretty sure they were like, Ashley, what are you talking about? And I like how, he just went with it. Instead of making a joke about, hey, I don't go by that name anymore or something like that, or hey, just call me Ash. He just, he continued the jokes, with the person that said it, but just continued on like it was nothing, because that's his name, man. What was interesting, too, is that he actually lost the wooden hand tonight. I don't know what that means or how they're going to use that later on, but he did mention it, and now we'll see him without a hand. He said he lost Woody tonight. I don't know if he's going to get a replacement hand, maybe a hook, maybe something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see, and other than that, that is it. Next week, let me see if I can find the episode for next week. Let me kind of go back real quick. We got about maybe a minute. We got a minute left in this podcast. Okay. Brujo. Looks like on November 21st, 2015. Brujo. We don't have any information about it yet, and I guess that'll happen as soon as they release the information, man. But looks like everybody's there. Bruce Campbell. Let me see. Joe Jones, Lucy Lawless. Yeah, everybody's there on IMDb. So we'll have to see. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here, man. Oh, also one more thing. Whenever those little cases were breaking inside of the Books from Beyond, I died laughing when they kicked that thing. I don't want to spoil it, but it was hilarious. I hope they have more of that stuff too, man, because that was definitely Army of Darkness. Right here, comment, like, subscribe, share this video. And if you don't mind, man, just leave some comments, but definitely share it, man, right here.